defending Super Bowl champions. That has come to an end, courtesy of a 23-19 loss to the San Francisco 49ers yesterday afternoon at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia. Before we get into the Philadelphia Eagles, let's give credit where credit is due. And I personally have to give credit to Representative Eric Swalwell out of California, out of the 14th District in California, who's running for the gubernatorial seat in California because he's a diehard San Francisco 49ers fan, and he was trolling me last night for hours about how he told me that San Francisco 49ers was going to win this game. I didn't see it coming, y'all. I didn't see it coming. And the reason I didn't see it coming is because I watched Seattle beat up on San Francisco pretty good a week before. I watched them beat them up. And I said, you've been softened up, and now you got to travel 3,000 miles or nearly 3,000 miles across the country to go play the Philadelphia Eagles after being softened up. And I said, there's just no way that they're going to beat the Philadelphia Eagles. It's not going to happen. And sure enough, without Nick Bosa, without Fred Warner, without Ricky Pearsall, without Brandon Ayuk, and ultimately without George Kittle, your star tight end who got carted off the field in the second quarter with what would later be learned to be an Achilles tear, the Niners went on the road against the defending champions and with Brock Purdy, with Christian McCaffrey, with Robert Saleh's defense, they upset the defending Super Bowl champions, outscoring the Eagles 13-3 in the fourth quarter, by the way. And that reverse that ultimately led to Jennings throwing a touchdown pass to Christian McCaffrey. I mean, I can't say enough. I can't say enough about the greatness of Coach Mike Shanahan, or Kyle Shanahan, I'm sorry. I can't say enough. I really, really can't. When you look at Kyle Shanahan, and Ayuk is out, and all the names, other names I mentioned is out, and Deebo Samuel departed for Washington, and you see the way Kyle Shanahan has coached these brothers, and the way they find a way to get the job done. I just can't say enough about them. Do you understand that if Kyle Shanahan wins this upcoming weekend, it'll be the 49ers' fifth trip to the NFC Championship game in the last 7 years? Do you realize that? Do you realize the greatness of a Kyle Shanahan when it comes to that? Now, I'm somebody that religiously held against him the 28-3 lead that he blew as an offensive coordinator in Atlanta, all right, against the New England Patriots when they lost the Super Bowl because you didn't run the football enough. You kept throwing the football, and it kept stopping the clock when you would incomplete a pass, and it gave the Patriots time to come back when you had a 25-point lead against them. I'm the one that religiously points out how when the Super Bowl comes, he's got a double-digit lead, and somehow he's blown not once but two of them to the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. I got to stop doing that. Because when you are this good of a coach, when you click all the right buttons, when you find a way to get stuff done the way Kyle Shanahan has gotten it done, what do you say? What do you say? I'm just of the mindset that I'm just looking at him right now. You know, you got Purdy, Brock Purdy, who, by the way, is cool as ice under pressure. 262 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. All right, even though he threw 2 interceptions, I got it. You got McCaffrey, who's a reliable weapon, 114 yards from scrimmage and 2 scores. You got DeMarcus Robinson, who had 111 receiving yards and a touchdown. All right. And by the way, DeMarcus Robinson, he's generated just 276 yards and 22 catches and 1 touchdown in 14 games, but managed to have 111 yards yesterday. I'm just, Kyle Shanahan, man. Kyle Shanahan. And as a result, I'm looking at them now. 49ers, a combined 7-0 in wild card and divisional playoff games under Kyle Shanahan. 7-0 in wild card and divisional playoff games. The man is just special. Let's just call it what it is. And I got to look at that, and I got to give respect where respect is due and just say, hey, he could easily be a Coach of the Year candidate as well. Why shouldn't he be? Considering all the injuries that the San Francisco 49ers have had, and somehow, some way, they're still there. Now, let me get to the Eagles, though. Ladies and gentlemen, expect change in Philadelphia. Not with head coach Nick Sirianni, but you're definitely going to have a new offensive coordinator. There's no way around it. Kevin Patullo was awful this year. There's no way around it. When you have everybody and their grandmother talking about how predictable your offense is week after week after week, and little to no change has occurred, you don't get to come back from that. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And when we think about Kevin Patullo and the Philadelphia Eagles offense, it got to a point yesterday you were looking at Jalen Hurts, and you just said, you looked at his face and he was looking at them like, you really calling that? You really calling that play? A.J. Brown getting into it on the sideline with Nick Sirianni. Listen, I don't like stuff publicized on the sidelines like that, and I get that part, but I'm a bit sympathetic to A.J. Brown. I don't like the fact that you talking all year long or you sending cryptic messages all year long, but all of a sudden the season ends and you walk out the locker room without doing an interview. Now, we all know that A.J. Brown's career in Philadelphia is over. He's gone. He wants out. He wants out. And in all likelihood, the Eagles want him out. So I get it. I understand it. But still, you could have done an interview post-game. Philadelphia Eagles, what do you say? They pointed out a stat where Jalen Hurts lined up behind center 7 times yesterday. And all 7 times, they ran the football. You're not being creative. You're not being innovative. You're not throwing a monkey wrench into the game plan. You're not doing any trick plays. You're not doing anything. The offense has been inconsistent all year long. After the Eagles scored touchdowns on 2 of their first 3 possessions, they went without a touchdown over their final 7 drives. 4 punts, 2 field goals, and a turnover on downs. That's what the Eagles did. With A.J. Brown, with Devontae Smith, with Dallas Goedert, with your offensive line, with Saquon Barkley in the backfield, that's all the hell you could do. The 49ers have had defensive problems all season long in terms of their inconsistencies, but you couldn't do anything against them. And Jalen Hurts completing just 57% of his passes for 168 yards. That's relatively anemic. A postseason career low, 4.8 yards per pass attempt. 1 touchdown pass, 1 sack, a 79 passer rating. I mean, damn. It's a damn shame. The Eagles lost because they were transparent. The Eagles lost because you could close your eyes, take a nap, wake up, walk around with blindfolders on, and still figure out what the hell the Eagles offense was going to do, because they didn't do anything to disrupt your level of thinking. There's a lot to get into, and I'm going to get into it all. 888 Mad Dog 6 is the number to call. It's 888-623-3646. You're listening live to the Stephen A. Smith Show, Sirius XM, Mad Dog Sports Radio. Back with more in a minute.
Think you have what it takes to debate?
Stephen A. Smith Show coming at you as I love to do. Every Monday through Friday from 1 to 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time over the airwaves with Sirius XM, Mad Dog Sports Radio. The number to call up as always is 888 Mad Dog 6. That's 888 Mad Dog 6. That's 888-623-3646. I hope you all had a very wonderful, healthy, prosperous weekend. I know that we watched a lot of football over the last several days. Obviously, I'm going to get into a little college football a little bit later on in the show. Definitely got a lot of NFL action to talk about. I am coming to you live from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, the Steel City, site of tonight's AFC wildcard game between the Texans and the Pittsburgh Steelers, scheduled to air on ESPN tonight at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where the Steelers will try to go up against a monster of a defense led by Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter. I mean, just piranhas coming at you. Combining for 27 sacks this year. I have to tell you right now, as a lifelong diehard Steelers fans, I'm not going to front. I'm very, very worried. I'm very, very nervous. I've got my staff. I've got people sitting here laughing at me, chuckling, because they know, even though I stuck out my chest with some bravado on national television earlier this morning, thinking about the Steelers figuring out a way that the Steelers was going to win this game, I ain't going to lie to you. I was fronting. I mean, I'm still going to stick with my pick as the Steelers winning, but I ain't going to act like I'm not nervous about it, because I'm very, very nervous. And the reason I'm very, very nervous is because I'm trying to figure out how the Steelers going to score on these brothers. I'm trying to figure out how they're going to score, because I'm here to tell you something right now. It don't look promising. The Houston Texans are the #1 defense in the National Football League. You don't run against them. You don't pass against them. They hunt for you. And Aaron Rodgers for the Pittsburgh Steelers is a stationary target. He's 41 years of age. He's a senior citizen in NFL parlance, okay? He's an immobile individual. He can't run the way that he used to. He can sidestep here or there inside the pocket, but in the end, he ain't scrambling any damn place. They're going to hunt for him. DeMeco Ryans is an elite coach in the NFL on the defensive side of the ball, even though he's your head coach in Houston. But I'm very, very big on dudes that live up to what got them the job in the first place as a head coach. If you are offensive or a defensive coordinator, I can't stand when you use that to get a head coaching job, and then all of a sudden the very thing that you were successful at as a coordinator, you forget to make sure you cement as the head coach. That is not what DeMeco Ryan has done. When you look at DeMeco Ryan and what he brings to the table, the reality is that this brother, DeMeco Ryan, and what he brings to the table, that defense is something special. Bottom line is that when I think about this game tonight, the Steelers could win, meet DK Metcalf, courtesy of missing the last 2 games because of a 2-game suspension and almost blew the playoffs for them. He's back here. He's back in the lineup. He'll be available tonight. Let's see what he does. He's got some making up to do. He almost blew the Steelers a playoff opportunity and sent them home for the season. Luckily, that did not happen because they were able to win the regular season finale, okay? So we're happy about that, beating the Baltimore Ravens, even though they lost to Cleveland Browns a week before. But in the end, here's what it comes down to. If you're the Steelers, can you score enough points? And can you limit C.J. Stroud and Nico Collins and those brothers? Houston shouldn't be able to run the football on the Pittsburgh Steelers. And even though C.J. Stroud is accurate when you give him time to throw, he shouldn't have that much time to throw. Not against this Steelers defense. He should be better. I mean, the Steelers defense should get the best of him, I'm sorry. So that's how I'm looking at it. But I'll get into all of that as the show progresses today, right here on the Stephen A. Smith Show, Sirius XM, 888-MAD-06, that's 888-623-3646. Got to get to some of the...